joining us here and spend some time with her family in UAE. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dominica. Sister needs another sister for sure during times like this. So today we're meeting a young man who is brave enough to share his journey through depression and anxiety and how he overcame that to where he is now helping others. His name is Sahil Mohan and he's in the studio. Hello, Sahil.
Hi, how are you?
You've got a nice smiley face considering what you've been through. You seem cheerful today. How are you doing?
Well, I'm so grateful to be here. And I think that, I meet so many people kind of doing what I'm doing, and just speaking to everyone about their inspirational journeys and about mental health is just so amazing. So every time I meet people that are into stuff like this, I can't help but to smile and to be happy.
Bless you. Well, we're giving you a platform today because we're hoping that you can help other young people, because there's a lot of people out there struggling, I have to say.
Yeah.
You're only 22 years old.
I am.
So let's get some understanding, because you're still very young, about your journey, what you were dealing with, feeling, and at what age did all this start?
So for me, when I was around 16, that's when I started developing anxiety and depression. And, it was a really difficult experience for me. It affected my whole life, essentially. It affected my relationships, romantic relationships, relationship with my parents, my friendships, my school, like everything kind of went downhill. I was always this kid that was super energetic, and I would play instruments, and I was like one of the smartest kids. And then when I had depression and anxiety, it just kind of all dropped, and everything went downhill from there. So I definitely started developing at around 16, and I'd say till around 20. At 20, it was the worst it could have ever been, but it got bad till then. But so about 4 years I dealt with it.
So do you know what shifted with you at the age of 16?
Yeah, so I think that, so you have moments when you're in school, like I feel like, most people don't realize how tough school life is.
Yeah, you know what? When I look back at school, I think it was so much fun. When I look at my nieces and my nephews and they're trying to study and they're compete, I don't know how they're doing it.
Yeah.
You tell me, what is school like for you on a daily basis?
Well, when I was in school, I mean, it was fun, and people thought I was a popular kid. I definitely went out to parties, I had fun and stuff, but I was really suffering with anxiety and depression at the time. And I did, at the time, I was obese, and I would get bullied a lot.
So do you think it was the bullying that triggered this?
Yeah, for sure. So I'll give one example. You guys are so sweet, and I want to be a little bit vulnerable. So when I was 16, I was kind of in a relationship, and the person that I was with, she kind of didn't like my friends. She thought they were bad people, so she told me, don't be friends with them. And then as soon as we broke up, my best friend, she basically told him that I said all these, lies about him, and that I said all these horrible things about him, and they ended up kind of getting together. So I didn't know about this for
So hang on a minute, your ex got together with...
My ex got together...
And you were how old?
16, 17.
So that's a tender age to understand that.
Yeah, my best friend at the time.
Please tell me he's not your best friend anymore.
No,
Thank
no.
goodness.
But yeah, so they kind of got together, and I had no idea, and we went through stuff together, so we became closer friends. And then one day we're at this party, and we're playing Never Have I Ever, and this other friend of mine says, never have I ever been with my best friend's girlfriend the day after they broke up. And everyone that was there was about 20 people on the table, everyone there knew that he had gotten together with my girlfriend, and with my ex-girlfriend, and I had no idea.
So you'd been lied to.
So I had been lied to, and for 6 months we were friends. And so it's moments like that where it makes you feel so little, and it makes you feel unworthy of love. It makes you feel...
So when something like that happened, were you able to go and talk to your parents about it?
No.
Why?
Because by that time, my mental health had already kind of, gone down. So my relationship with my parents, although they were really sweet parents and really loving, I did not feel at a stage where I was close enough with them to speak to them about that.
But it's bizarre you're saying that and you're here live on radio speaking to hundreds and thousands of people.
True, but it's very true. But I think that it's through I was gonna say this for later, but two things have helped me tremendously: meditation and journaling. Kind of just voice out my opinions and thoughts and talk to people. And over time, I've realized that there's a lot of strength in vulnerability, and that, I learned over time that when you do share stuff with your parents, that they can be very supportive. And I learned that over time. So it was definitely something that when I was 16, I didn't feel very close to my parents, but I feel like right now my parents are kind of like my best friends. They know exactly what goes on in my life.
I think we forget our parents know us better than anybody.
Yeah.
And honestly, they can soothe wounds that nobody else can if we really gave them a chance.
Yeah.
So during those 4 years, you battled from 16 to 20. What was that like for you? Like, how did you manage at school?
I honestly, I didn't. At 16, I was the smartest at maths. I was at the top of my class. I was playing instruments. I had known how to play piano and stuff like that. And I didn't manage it well. All my coping mechanisms were very destructive. And every time I went through a problem, I just kind of, forgot about it or didn't deal with it correctly. And my grades were horrible. Like, by the time I was finished with school and I started uni, and I was a smart kid. I enjoyed studying, but by the time I'd finished school in psychology, I had like an E or a D, and I passed with that. And I loved the subject so much. I loved it so much, and it did help me understand my life and people more and mental health more. And that's why I started it, because I wanted to learn more about mental health. But just because of my anxiety and depression, it kind of forced me to create this lifestyle that did not serve me in any way. And yeah, I honestly, if I'm being honest, like even to the first part of uni, I was in the city in Brighton studying psychology, and I had all my essays and exams. And while being in the city, I did not show up to any of my exams. I did not even start the essay the day before we were meant to hand it in. I had not even started it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, we're going to be back. I want to find out as well if you went to get a diagnosis with a doctor, what they said, and how you've slowly coming out of this, okay?
More of Afternoons with Helen Farmer is coming up next
on the UAE's #1